Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to the field. We're here with the boys from Toar. We've made it out. We've walked nearly 3 miles already. He's got the Wellingtons on. I have my Wellingtons on, and we're at a beautiful house here, just out in what would be a Crohan, is it? Derry Coffee, and we passed the Silver River. All these places that we've all been listening to, and we've actually crossed them, and we're just chatting in general. But we're here in a friend's field. Where are we, Nick? Once again, this is Nick, and it's the boy from Toar, Nick Theory. Thank you very much. He's just home from a world tour, and he's in this September. He's staying all around locally here. So if anyone wants to chat to him, just you can hook up with him. Maybe you can meet in town or Mullingar or in the town of Third Pass.
Or maybe out here in the middle of Derry Coffee. You won't get anywhere more rural now in Westmeath,
really,
than where we're standing. And it's all overgrown now, but when I was a boy, I used to come here, and there was two, our bachelor bogmen used to live in bogmen farmers. They were small farmers, Nick and Tommy Mooney.
And now, for anyone looking in, what exactly is a bogman? How does he qualify to be a bogman?
A bogman is a man that's born and reared and lives his life in the bog.
Right.
You know, these are bog cottages. There's a few of them on the way down, and they're all just remains now. The last of them were here about the mid-1970s, and I used to have great crack coming along here, you know. You talk about technology, well, it was better than any technology what I saw here in the 1970s. And these two particular fellas used to, I'd come up, they were very good to me, you know, to say, would you come up and help us bring in the hay and all that, and they give you pound note in 1971 or two to a young fellow was, and I used to think, they're only small farmers, you know, they'd have a few old cattle and all that, and they were fond of the supper drink and everything, and I said to Tommy one day, say, you lads, you're never short of a few pounds. Oh, he said, this is all fairies round here.
Go on.
He said, we just passed it there. Yeah. That's the fairy field right beside them. Oh, he said, they're very good to me, he said. And there's be 2 shillings on the windowsill every morning. He said, I'm beloved of them. And I says, what about Mick? He said, that's another story.
Mick didn't believe in the fairies, did he?
No, he did. Mm-hmm. When Mick was young, they reckon the fairies used to play hurling over between the 2 forestries. And he used to get Mick to referee the games, you see. Oh, and they come up from the west of Ireland. Then he told me, he said, there'd be the west of Ireland fairs to come up. And didn't they catch Mick? Didn't Mick lay them all round the forestry, walking for miles and miles? And oh, when are we ever going to get to this place? And because he wore them out, and their legs were dead when they got to the game, and Westmeath awfully fairies bet them. And going home, they noticed it was about 20 miles shorter, and they copped on then that Mick had made an Egypt out of them. And so Tommy said, I come up here one summer's evening after school to help them bring in the hay. And Tommy said, no, not tonight, Mick, he says. Poor old Mick, he said, he's in bad old form above in the room. I says, what's wrong with him? He can't get a wink of sleep at night. He says, the old West of Ireland fairies come up and torment him, and they come down the chimney. They wait till he gets drunk, and they come down the chimney, and his boots do be on the floor, and they jump into the boots and start dancing in the boots and waking him up, and then when he wakes up, he stands up and they kick him up the arse out the door, and that shed over there is the shed he had to sleep in.
We can
rotate
it there and just give you. It's behind them trees there.
Behind them trees there.
And
he'd have to sleep out there, and he wouldn't be able to come in now. That's the back of the house there you're turning now.
Right.
It's very overgrown. It's hard to see it.
Yeah.
But that was the loveliest thatched cottage, and they used to keep it immaculate. Honest to God, it was a lovely place. The 2 bachelor men, they were very, very tidy,
and this shed we're here now as well. This one behind us here.
This shed here now was built probably the 1960s.
Right.
And I forget the story about it, but one of the brothers objected. He didn't want a new build shed
Right.
with the owl buildings. He wanted to keep the owl building.
Oh.
And they reckon he put some kind of a curse under it. And never has a bird's nest, since that was built in the 60s, ever nested in there. They nest everywhere else,
Right.
all the trees, small birds everywhere, but they won't go there. And they reckon there's some kind of a spell or haunting on it or something.
And this now, folks, and you're all looking in, this is the time in the 70s, so Nick was 9 at the time, and you stayed here till you were about 19, and then headed back for England then.
Right, yeah.
Now, as well as that, there was no cars, really.
No, very few.
What about donkeys?
Oh, those donkeys everywhere. But there was one car now used to come from Croghan
Right.
every night. Now, I won't mention the lad's name,
Yeah.
because some of them are still about. But an old Morris miner, and
Right.
he used to come down, 2 farmers, and they didn't know how to put a bulb into a car, you see.
Right.
And one by one, the lights started going. The front lights went, the indicators went, brake lights, back lights. And they used to drive from Croghan into Terence Pass every night for a few pints of beer, and they'd have the inside light on.
In the car?
And, yeah, in the car. And you'd see them coming along laughing and joking in the car. And the inside light was to let you know they were coming.
Right.
And for you to get out of the way. And if a car did come meeting them, they'd pull over.
Okay.
Until it went by, you was as good as a circus. You wouldn't see it in the circus.
And tell me, the pubs then at that time, was there many pubs in Terrace Pass?
There was the same that's there now. There was Dillon's,
Yeah.
there was Gnude's, Moss Fagan's, and John Claffey's.
Right.
And every one of them had a nickname. John Claffey's was the boxing ring. If you wanted a bit of an old row, you went up to Claffey's.
Right.
Charlie Dillon's was the information centre.
Okay.
You wanted to know anything about cattle or if you had a problem that you couldn't talk at home, you went up there and it was thrown about and everyone, young lads be going in there and the heart broken and all that, and the old lads would be throwing them out, you know. And everything got sorted out there. And the footballers used to drink in Geordie Gnude's pub, and Moss Fagan's was darts.
Okay.
That was the dart club.
Did you play darts yourself?
Oh, I did, loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. We went all around the country playing darts and all that. And sure, half the time you'd go over to Castletown and you wouldn't bother with a lift home, you crossed the field.
Ah.
Oh, we used to love walking at night. And then, because we believed all this was magic. You know, I still do.
Yeah, exactly.
I still do.
There is a feeling, like, especially down at the ring fort down there, or where all the stones are around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't. They weren't very interested in the history of these old places, because I never recall them telling me anything, and so I don't know the history, but I know it's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Because the man that owns it told me, and my father used to have me drawn turf with a donkey, you see, in cart when I was 10 years old over in Derry Coffey Bog, and I used to come down the Bory, and Andy Gavigan, Lord of Mercy, them used to wait at the head of his he's an avenue out of his farmhouse, because they're mad for the cigarettes, you see.
Okay.
And everyone used to smoke in them days. They didn't know the danger. And Andy'd be waiting for me, and he'd be laughing, and he'd be smoking cigarettes. And my father wanted, I think it was 4 loads a day, from 7 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock in the evening.
Right.
And it went down to 2 loads a day, and he was going mad. What are you at? And I was talking to Andy and smoking cigarettes. And he'd be telling me story. He told me about that fairy field and how special it was.
And getting back to the turf then, so you filled up the trailer, and emptied the trailer, or could you just
just healed it up when I got home.
Healed it up when you got home,
and a quick cup of tea and back out again. Like, that's a fair spin on a donkey and cart, like, you know.
Because you're covering nearly 4 kilometres, I'd say, at least.
Oh, handy.
And then into the bog as well. Yeah.
But it was a lovely way of life, honest to God. It was, you know, you didn't have a care in the world.
That's right, yeah.
You know, you were free, and there was no such thing in them days of depression. I don't think we knew what depression was.
Too busy.
Too busy.
Yeah. Working.
And too busy having the crack. And once you, now drawing home the turf in the harvest time would be busy.
Yeah.
But any other time you'd be let go at 3 o'clock, and the rest of the day was all your own.
Yeah, but you started early.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, we'd be, it'd be 7:30. You'd be up at 6:45 and out for 7:30.
Well, folks, we're just getting back to you there again because we're in the field here with the man himself, the boy from Toar, some boy now, Nick Feary. And if anyone wants to share this post, feel free to do so. And as well as that, would you give us a thumbs up if the volume is okay for you, no matter where you are. Maggie, Peggy, Gillespie's looking in there from Inverness, and Hi Ray, and everyone. Say no to Nicky. Write it down.
They're all right. They're okay.
Mary Cross is looking in the whole way from Somerset. And Margaret's there as well, keeping an eye on everything. A lot of people are just listening like Goodo, which is great.
That's amazing.
Marie Dillon, Valentina Popescu.
They weren't expecting you to come on again tonight. You've done the session, haven't you?
We've done the session early because we had to come out here and organise, do a little bit of work as well, and then come out and see you. And I done the bus sessions early, which is not too bad because we done 2002 today.
Right.
You're watching in yourself from England.
Oh yeah, all the time I do, and I'd be thinking of the stories. The two lads came up here in the early 70s. Oh, there would have been two hardy customers, like, didn't believe in nothing, ghosts, fairies, nothing, load of rubbish. And I remember Tommy saying to them, well, now lads, they were hunting rabbits.
Right. Now the two lads were living in the house. What were their names again?
Tommy and Mick Mooney.
Mick Mooney, and the two hardy bucks coming up to get rabbits.
They were neighbours of mine.
Right.
I won't mention their names, like, you know. And they were coming up to get the rabbits. And when Mick or Tommy had mentioned anything about fairies or ghosts, no, they didn't believe in nothing like that.
Yeah.
Well, they got the cut of their life because the two of them says, Tommy, I'll tell you what you'll do. See that all them fir trees down there? He said, go down along there, full of rabbits. He said, and it's all rabbit burrows.
Yeah.
He said, and what you do, he says, is get one lad at the entrance and another lad with a bag at the exit and just poke the entrance. So they did anyway. And of course, your man was there with the bag and boom, into the bag. He went like that. And he held it like this. And he was walking along. I got him. He said, I got. And he said, the next thing he started kicking. He said, well, this is more than a rabbit. Like, all he could hear was, Mammy, they have me. Mammy, they're after catching me. Mammy, come and save me, Mammy, like that. Terrified the life out of him. Didn't he drop the bag? And they reckon a little fella ran out of the bag and back into the burrow. Which was the fairies. That in the burrow. And them two boys never came back here again. And when anyone talk about fairies or ghosts, they just turn their head like they make no comment. And I actually seen things like that happen.
Okay.
How lads completely change when something happens to them, you know.
And the fairies, do it still be on this land, would you say?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Anything that's untouched is where they are.
Ah.
You know, and you don't have to necessarily see them.
Yeah.
The old bog people reckon they had a gift of seeing them.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, if you stayed here a little while,
you
would see evidence of them, and you would even feel it.
Right.
You know, it's absolutely amazing. And all the way across there, up to them forestries, it's all untouched. But it has to, as soon as the machines come, destroys everything.
Yeah, which is happening a lot everywhere.
It is, and it's sad. It's sad because I have such great memories of this place. It was just a very special day. And you can see everywhere, all the way back to Toar. You can see where it's like all last year's acorns sticking up out of the ground, like last year's acorns, right back to Ancient Man.
Yeah.
The old forts there in where you picked me up now.
Yeah.
There's a couple of fairies or reloads there, some of the oldest in Ireland, pre-6th century.
Wow.
I think it'd be the beginning of the 6th century.
And if people come to check that out and do a little bit of history checking on it, or
not that I've ever known of, no. But one chap I only heard last night. One chap dug a little part of it away and ended up hanging himself 2 years later.
Oh,
that's what I heard last night. Now my cousins were telling me, you know, so they're not to be
messed with.
They're not to be messed with, and you know, some people think that's ridiculous, but I know one thing, I certainly wouldn't mess with them.
So tell us, you went off to England at about 19, and what sort of business did you get into then when you were 19?
Plastering. I've been plastering all my life.
And did that come to you naturally?
Well, it didn't, but when I was young, when you had things like ADHD, they weren't understood
Right.
then like they are now.
Yeah.
Of course, I was hyperactive, so my father took me down to Joe Dunn, the late Wimpy Dunn, he's a builder.
Right.
And he said to the Wimpy, will you put that lad plaster? And he said, and send him home so tired that he can't butter his own bread. He said, because...
in England?
No, this was here.
All right.
This
Who
was
the
here.
Wimpy Dunn? Was he
The
from...
Wimpy Dunn, he was from Croghan there.
Okay, right.
He died here recently.
Great
And,
name.
Joe Dunn. And he said, send him home to me that he's not able to butter margarine over or butter over his own toast. He said, because he's my heart broke. He said, it's up to all kinds of different. But whatever it was with me, I'd go and he'd work me and he worked me real hard. And you got to go home and I lie down on the sofa for half an hour and up again. Second brand new, out, up the altar. But Joe was very good to me and Joe taught me to plaster.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it ever since.
And you've changed it a bit now because you're sort of specialised an engineer now, I could say.
Yeah, I don't do house plastering anymore. I do old basements and very old houses. I do a lot of lime rendering.
Right.
Waterproofing. With 300-year-old houses. It's lovely.
Now I've seen some of your videos, and you've been down in some of the houses, and you've found a few ghosts here and there. You can definitely get a feeling that they're in the house.
Yeah. There was one there. There was knocking in the house.
Yeah.
There's nobody in honey myself.
Right.
Like, you know, and I just got a feeling that there was a woman in the house, but she was delighted I was doing something.
Right.
Because that was 350-year-old house, that was. And it had been a public house in Victorian times.
Wow.
So there's a lot of history to it, you know.
Yeah.
And you get that with the house sometimes when you walk into it. You just get a feeling of it, and sometimes you don't, and some of them you just want to walk out.
I won't do this now.
What's going on in here? Yeah.
But you come home regularly as well. Like you still have a great connection with the land here, and it makes you feel good.
My fourth time
this year.
Home this year, you know. Absolutely love it, yeah. And I love coming to see my cousins, and you know, I'm great friends with my cousins, and
good.
We've done some storytelling up on Sunday morning in Rahu in my granny's house.
Oh.
Now that's a lovely place, and I hope I get you to watch that video.
Yeah.
I didn't know her. She died in 1962 when I was 2 years old.
Okay.
But she would have been born in that house about the late 1880s. And her sister died in the house, in the front bedroom. And when that house was empty 50 years ago, I used to cross the bog. I used to go and sit there just to get away from my own home life. And I used to sit there. We were always told light a fire in passing.
Yeah.
The key used to be out the back and around the turf and keep the house aired. And I could, I used to hear these footsteps gently coming down the stairs. And it wasn't in a scary way.
Right, yeah.
I sort of accepted it, and I used to feel the presence of my granny there. And then an old lady used to come in. She'd see the smoke rising out of the chimney.
Yeah.
She used to smoke a doodine of a pipe and a shawl on her. Really.
Go away.
Yeah, and when she realised who I was, she said, I knew your granny well.
I'll give you lots of stories.
Yeah, she gave me great stories. And she said, them footsteps, she says, I don't think it necessarily be your granny, she says, it'd be her sister. She died of TB in the front bedroom, and she was the most beautiful woman right now. At the time, she was only 18. God. Honestly, this part of Westmeath just absolutely fascinates me.
And there's still you could, to me, it's which you've got that feeling of, yeah. But you seem to go around the whole time checking out the places as well and going back.
Yeah,
does it just bring back great memories, or?
Yeah, it's like people go to places they have a belief in knock now and stuff like that. With me, this is, I come back here and it reminds me of how things were, how far I've come in life as a person.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? That's very important to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it was a lovely time, but it was also a very difficult time back then for me personally. But I've come so far, and I'm so glad that I met these people.
Yeah.
Because they were so simple, you know, and they could see through you. You know,
not simple at all. They had a knowledge.
A simple.
Yeah.
They had a knowledge that you don't come across very often anymore. You know.
What's them there in the trees? Are they haws? Is that what you call them?
Yeah, you can make gin out of them.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. Everything is blooming at this time of the year as well.
And you know, you could walk for miles and miles across here this time of the year. There used to be wild peas, wild strawberries, crab apples. If you knew the right crab apples where to go, the long hills where the fairies were, you got the lovely crab apples.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, it was great stuff.
Well, look, you're going to stay around for a little while, and then you're going to head back to...
I'll go back now Sunday or Monday. I'll head back. I'm alone and walk.
And will you drive over, or...
Yeah. I drove over, but it's
a mission. It's a mission now, that motorway.
I'll tell you.
And they're like lunatics on the motorway.
I know.
As hard as they're going. I got scared in it a few times.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, will you drive straight up, and then, or will you take a break halfway on the trip? You're coming from London, isn't it?
Well, I'm near London. I'm Bedford.
Yeah.
I live in a small village in Bedford. No, I'll stop and have something to eat, and then straight back.
Yeah.
Two little dogs and a woman that's waiting for me.
You're a lucky man.
So I'll tell you I am.
Yeah.
When I see how other things have gone, I've kind of come out. I've a lot to be grateful for.
Exactly, and as well as that, the older we get, you're always checking on people that you knew as years went by, and you're going, that lad's doing well, that lad's not doing well.
Yeah.
You know, that lad's changed, or and then you sort of revert it back to who you are.
Yeah.
You know, and how happy you are, whether
so lucky, honestly.
Yeah.
So lucky.
And you've a son as well, have you?
I have, yeah. He was going to come and then work commitments.
So what does he work at?
He's in recruitment. He gets people into jobs.
Very good.
He was in computers, and for some reason he's
on another computer now.
He's on another computer now, but he's happy too. He's enjoying what he's doing, and he was annoyed he couldn't get over. So I might have to make the 5th trip before Christmas and get him over to see Grandad. Grandad's 96 he was there Friday.
How is your father?
Great.
Is he moving and mobile?
Oh yeah, he's
drinking a couple of minerals.
Yeah, he's I tell you what, he's pretty good for his age.
Absolutely, they made them well that time.
You'll never get another generation like him.
And what did he work at, or what was he a farmer? Or
he worked on deep drainage.
All the bogs, like
in England for about 33 years.
Wow!
And then when he come back here, Tom Hanlon, the old Bordermore engineer, give him the contract to drain Loch Nabron, the loch. I loved that place, and my own father drained it. I didn't speak to him for 6 months. And do you know what I done to him? I come in and I cut all the webbing on his chair, his favourite armchair, just left a few strands on it. I was sitting at the door, and he come in and he was telling my mother all these pipes he laid in it. They were ready to drain the bog, and he went down in there and into the armchair, and I burst out and ran out the door. I killed that lad. I know it was Mommy, look what he's after doing. He said, I kill him when I get him. Oh, the things he used to get up to.
Well, come here, it must have knocked you out because he emptied the bog, because that
broke me heart.
Right.
Absolutely broke me heart. Because all the machines came in there. That was an ancient bog. You know, and you had St. Hughes as well, the far side. You had the Long Hills, which means the place where fairies dwell. And the story was St. Hugh ran the fairies out away from the well because they were going into the other world.
Right.
And he hunted them out and he flooded the bog. He caused a spring in the middle of it. And it trapped the fairies on the Toar side.
Right.
And I loved all that, you know. And that was my childhood. That was my magic, you know. Wow. And suddenly, Bordermore came in and destroyed the whole lot. And I often wonder what happened to all the life, all the lovely birds
Yeah.
out there, you know. I was coming across it one night, and I heard in the old stories, my grandfather used to cross it every night for 2 years when he was courting my granny, in my granny's house, the one I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And he used to play the tin whistle
Right.
as he walked along, and he believed that the fairies were keeping him safe and showed him where all the hares' passes was. And once you followed the hares' passes, you wouldn't drown, you see.
Yeah.
Because they knew all the safe places. But wasn't I coming along one night, and the old lady that I used to meet in the house, she said, they'll always look after you coming across, she said, because they know you're off the land. And anyway, didn't the moon go in? Suddenly it was pitch black. I couldn't see in front of me, and I thought, I'm in trouble here.
Yeah.
Do you know something? About 5 minutes later, I was afraid to put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Didn't the will of the wisp come up out of the ball?
Go on.
Balls of light, and I could see Toar house. I went straight, got me off the ball. Balls of light, coloured light about that size. I could lit the whole place up, and I could see my way going across. I started going around by the road then after that, or bring a lamp, one or the other.
And whether the wisp was I had my cousins that tell me that going across, heading for Clonbelogue there and going across from road and that. Not road, but no, Clonbelogue.
Yeah, that's so past.
Enfield, well, not Enfield, Kinnegad, Edenderry.
Yeah.
Edenderry across there. That's a
lovely place, Clonbelogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. But it's gashes that come up. You get them in swamps and swamp bogs that come up and they ignite for some reason when they come out of. But it's something else to see. Like, but how well it just happened at that time. You know, that place.
And as well as that, the connection here as well to England is huge. Especially a lot of people would have left here and gone to England, lived and come back again. Like as your father, he was many years in England, came home.
Right.
So apart from, say, the bog men, there was very little for everyone here. So really the direction was to head to get to England.
Yeah.
And I see that connection as well in Kerry a lot as well. Most of the people in Kerry that we knew for years, they all headed to America because their relations were there. They finished school, headed over there, made a few pounds, and come back to Kerry. Mullingar, at that time, actually I ended up on the road very early, so most of the lads that we knew, I don't know where half of them went, you know. A lot went to America and England, you know.
Oh, you'd be now through the stories. Every week have people contacted me.
Go away.
Mullingar, Longford, one fella from Collinstown. Right now in New York.
Yeah, I've come across this man, yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I can't remember his name, but he came in the post probably a year or two ago, and he come in and say hello.
Yeah.
And we didn't do much out in Collinstown at all, but he still comes in and says hello now and again.
I have them from all over contacting me because they can relate to the stories, you see.
And to all our friends looking in, a boy from Toar is a page, so go to his page. We put up a post there last week of himself chatting. Don't know which one it was, but it was definitely one of them stories. You're either sitting down or like this at one stage, you know.
Oh yeah.
You're lying down doing them stories.
Tired after work.
Easy to talk.
That's funny.
Yeah. But look, we'll wrap it up, and lots of people looking in there as well. As Valentina is watching the whole way from Bucharest, and who else do we have? Jacqueline Hawhey, Margaret Clancy, Peggy is there as well. Everyone is just listening and having the crack and enjoying your story. So that's all we can see. No one is really writing to us. But look, guys and ladies and gents, thanks a million for looking in. The boy from Toar, Nick Feary, and my name is Ray Dolan, and we're in the countryside.
Good man, Ray. Thanks.
Bye for now, folks. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks.